On July 8, 1528, Emmanuel Philibert, Duke of Savoy, was born to Charles III, Duke of Savoy, and his wife, Beatrice of Portugal. He was born into the House of Savoy, a family known for its deep-rooted history and significant influence in European politics. Emmanuel Philibert's upbringing was steeped in noble traditions and the expectations of leadership, beginning at a young age. By the age of 6, Emmanuel Philibert was betrothed to Marguerite of France, enhancing alliances between the houses of Savoy and Valois. His formal education began under the guidance of distinguished educators, instilling in him the values of governance and military strategy. At the age of 10, following the death of his father, Emmanuel Philibert was thrust into a position of prominence as heir to the dukedom. In 1536, during the Italian War of 1536 to 1538, he played a crucial role in defending Savoy territory against enemy forces. In 1540, Emmanuel Philibert's betrothal to Marguerite was finalized, a strategic union intended to strengthen political ties. At the age of 18, he took part in the Battle of Sarasol in 1544, showcasing his growing military prowess and determination to lead. Following the battle, his reputation surged, and he was recognized as a skilled military leader by his contemporaries and allies. Emmanuel Philibert ascended to the Duke's throne in 1553, officially taking on the responsibilities of leadership in Savoy. He worked on consolidating his duchy by strengthening its military and administrative structures, ensuring stability and peace. In 1559, his political acumen was displayed when he negotiated the Treaty of Cateau-Cambrésis, ending hostilities between France and Spain. Post-treaty, he regained control of territories lost to France, enhancing his authority in the region significantly. His marriage to Marguerite in 1559 solidified future alliances and reinforced his standing among European nobility. As a patron of arts and culture, he initiated various architectural projects, fostering a Renaissance spirit in Savoy. Emmanuel Philibert firmly established Savoy as a key player in European politics, cultivating relationships with significant figures. He strengthened alliances through marriages of his children, continuing the legacy of political marriages that defined his family's history. His diplomatic efforts paved the way for future peace agreements, enabling economic stability within the duchy. In 1574, he became a pivotal figure in the War of the Three Henries, advocating for peace and stability in France. Its leadership and diplomatic strategies in this period earned him considerable respect among his peers and adversaries alike. Emmanuel Philibert's tenure saw the flourishing of arts in Savoy, with notable artists and architects receiving his patronage. His commitment to education also saw the establishment of academies that trained future leaders of Savoy. Throughout his life, Emmanuel Philibert made significant contributions that would influence his duchy and wider European politics, long after his death in 1580. Emmanuel Philibert's upbringing was steeped in the traditions of the House of Savoy, where he learned the tenets of leadership and became acquainted with the intricacies of European politics. At the young age of 6, Emmanuel Philibert was betrothed to Marguerite of France, a union designed to reinforce political ties between Italy and France. Following the death of his father, Charles III, Emmanuel Philibert became the Duke of Savoy's heir, shouldering immense responsibility at a tender age. In the turbulent times of the Italian War, Emmanuel Philibert exhibited extraordinary bravery, defending the interests of Savoy with strategic acumen. The betrothal to Marguerite of France became official in 1540, further cementing alliances and promises of support between the two powerful houses. Demonstrating his military prowess in the Battle of Sarasol in 1544, Emmanuel Philibert led his troops with courage, earning respect and acclaim. Emmanuel Philibert ascended to the throne in 1553, eager to implement military and administrative reforms to strengthen Savoy. His negotiation of the Treaty of Cateau-Cambrésis in 1559 resulted in the recovery of key territories previously lost during conflicts, marking a pivotal victory. The marriage to Marguerite further fortified political alliances, establishing a strong foundation for the future of Savoy under Emmanuel Philibert's leadership. As a patron of the arts, Emmanuel Philibert promoted Renaissance ideals, leading to cultural growth in Savoy with advancements in architecture and literature. Emmanuel Philibert established key political relationships with neighboring states, forging alliances that would become essential in the years of conflict that followed. His advocacy for stability during the War of the Three Henries showcased his dedication to peace in a region riddled with conflict, earning him respect from peers. Emmanuel Philibert's contributions to the consolidation of Savoy's power laid the groundwork for the future of the region in European politics. His untimely death in 1580 left a void, but the political structures he built endured and facilitated Savoy's eventual rise to prominence in Europe. Beyond his time, Emmanuel Philibert's actions influenced the unification efforts in Italy and laid foundations critical for later political developments. He was instrumental in passing the torch to future generations, ensuring that his descendants continued his policies of peace and unity. Emmanuel Philibert's love for culture inspired subsequent rulers to prioritize the arts and education in Savoy, leading to a cultural renaissance. His embrace of Renaissance ideals and governance marked a significant shift in leadership style during the era, influencing future rulers throughout Europe. Emmanuel Philibert's diplomatic strategies and alliances paved the way for a more integrated European political landscape, fostering collaboration among states. The political landscape that Emmanuel Philibert cultivated influenced not just Savoy, but also neighboring territories, shaping the future of European power dynamics. Thus, Emmanuel Philibert's legacy continued to resonate through history, marking him as a pivotal figure in the evolution of European nobility and governance. Emmanuel Philibert grew up in a castle adorned with the banners of the House of Savoy, where he caught glimpses of the nobility that surrounded him, ever aware of his future responsibilities. At the age of 6, Emmanuel Philibert participated in his betrothal ceremony to Marguerite, a celebration filled with the splendor of nobility, as family and dignitaries gathered to commemorate their alliance. Following the untimely death of his father, Emmanuel Philibert vowed to defend Savoy against external threats, marking his transition from boyhood to the responsibilities of leadership. In 1536, as the Italian War raged, Emmanuel Philibert took charge of defending his homeland, showcasing his emerging military acumen during turbulent times. The formalization of his betrothal to Marguerite in 1540 was celebrated with grand festivities, reinforcing the political stability he sought to achieve through his marriage. At the pivotal Battle of Sarasole in 1544, he commanded his troops with confidence, turning the tide in favor of Savoy and earning respect as a skilled military leader. Emmanuel ascended to the ducal throne in 1553, ready to implement reforms aimed at stabilizing and fortifying his duchy in a time of unrest. He enacted significant administrative reforms, restructuring the government and military in pursuit of a stronger, more unified Savoy. The Treaty of Cateau-Cambrésis in 1559 marked a diplomatic triumph, with Emmanuel negotiating successfully to reclaim lost territories for Savoy. Marriage to Marguerite solidified alliances, and their relationship came to symbolize the union of diverse noble houses in Europe, fostering peace. As a patron of the arts, Emmanuel Philibert cultivated a flourishing Renaissance culture in Savoy, commissioning works that enriched the duchy's identity. Emmanuel's ability to navigate complex political landscapes during the War of the Three Henries enabled Savoy to maintain neutrality and prosperity during chaotic times. His death in 1580 marked the end of an era, but his policies and cultural investments laid foundations for future generations in Savoy and beyond. His diplomatic approach to governance and peace negotiations had lasting effects, influencing European relations even after his death. Emmanuel Philibert's legacy also included his contributions to educational institutions, which would mold the political minds of future leaders in Savoy. Through his initiatives in trade and commerce, Emmanuel Philibert boosted Savoy's economy, paving the way for prosperity that outlasted his reign. The unification of Savoy under Emmanuel Philibert's rule also included forging beneficial relationships with France and other neighboring kingdoms. Posthumously, Emmanuel Philibert's influence continued through his descendants, who upheld the values of diplomacy, cultural patronage, and military strength. In concluding his life's narrative, Emmanuel Philibert emerged as a pivotal figure in European nobility, whose governance shaped the political landscape of Savoy and Europe.